Hello and welcome to the chai stop, or should I call this the coffee stop, with what we call here in Bengaluru as the Congress bun. Yes, this is what the Congress bun is about. It's a bun filled with peanuts which are spicy in the middle. I don't know why it's called the Congress bun, but with me is Deepak Bupanna, who's been tracking the Karnataka Congress story very closely. KS Dakshinamurthy, very senior journalist who's followed the Congress for many years. Ritu Rajpurohit, who has been vigorously typing. She's fed up that I'm making her sit and have coffee and bun here because she wants to get back to her breaking news. She's been breaking stories every minute. And then Yasir Mushtaq, senior journalist as well, who spends a lot of time here at the press club. But tell me first, Dakshinamurthy, you're a veteran journalist. Why is this called the Congress bun?
It's called a Congress bun because when you open the bun, you have the peanuts inside. Those peanuts are called Congress peanuts. So when you go to any store here and you ask for Congress, they'll give you that peanut. It's nicely spiced and it's a hugely popular snack.
Why is it nicely spiced peanuts has to be Congress peanuts?
Well, because things are spicy in the Congress at this point in time, and I think it's apt that we have Congress bun before us, and hopefully Rahul Gandhi can tame off the spice a little bit in the next couple of days.
The spice a little bit. But tell me, Yasir, do you have a Congress bun story? Because I think this conversation around politics is quite boring unless you make it spicy and interesting. And I think Congress bun is a good way to do this.
Yes, and you have shown it here only. It is divided. It is a Congress bun, but it is divided into two halves. You have seen it here. So one camp is Mr. Siddaramaiah camp, and one is DK Shivakumar camp.
Really two halves. Let me offer you guys the Congress bun. Please have the Congress bun.
Which side is more? We have to see.
It is Ritu Rajpurohit. Here, Deepak, have your Congress bun. Let's all take a bite of the Congress bun and start the conversation around what's happening in the Congress. Last evening you gave a fantastic headline in the last evening show. You said, is Rahul Kalam for the Congress, with a question mark. Do you believe it is Rahul Kalam for the Congress party, or do you believe it's still Siddaramaiah Kalam as far as Karnataka is concerned?
No, it is very much Rahul Kalam because all the power lies in with Rahul. And, he's probably the high command along with his mother and Priyanka. And I think, this is going to be very crucial for them. So it is definitely Rahul Kalam.
But as you say that, let me just put this across. I spoke to a very senior Congress leader earlier in the morning. He said the 5-6 people that DK Shivakumar is referring to, please have your Congress bun. You should eat the Congress bun to have the stamina and energy to break Congress stories. They say Rahul Gandhi was not the one who was involved in that decision that took place in 2023. Rahul and Sonia Gandhi just gave their assent to a collective decision. The people who were part of that decision were Mallikarjun Kharge, Siddaramaiah, DK Shivakumar, and the AICC in charge at that time. So it's not Rahul Gandhi, it's more of the onus is on Kharge to find a solution to this. Would you agree?
Veera, this is something that happened 2.5 years ago, and they've all been maintaining that this is a secret conversation that happened between them. The only important thing here is if another dialogue happens about leadership, which is of course something that Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge himself said is going to happen, and he confirmed that. This time around, will it remain a secret? That is the biggest question that remains before us, because if there is a possibility that they buy more time and say, well, let Siddaramaiah continue, say, till the next budget, will DK Shivakumar be okay for this to become another secret conversation, or will he want this as an announcement this time? Because the entire dilemma surrounds the fact that was there actually an agreement? While DK Shivakumar's camp openly say there was an agreement, there was a pact, today there are question marks being raised because till now, be it Randeep Singh Surjewala, who's made multiple visits to Karnataka, he's never acknowledged this. Rahul Gandhi hasn't acknowledged it. You don't have Mallikarjun Kharge who's acknowledged it. Siddaramaiah does not acknowledge it. So where is the truth in this is the question. So this time around probably the stress will be to make the conversation that happens in Delhi public.
Okay, let me fight for the mic back from you. The point is, Ritu Rajpurohit, tell me what the biggest story of the day is. You've just broken a short while ago the story about DK Shivakumar sending out a message that he is not restricted to one caste, which is the OBC Vokkaliga caste that's often been spoken about as his bastion. Now, what's the sense you're picking up? Do you believe that it's most likely that tomorrow they are going to be in Delhi? It seems like that at the moment. Do you believe that he's going to push all the way, or is he just trying to retain his relevance and his position as the only deputy chief minister and the state Congress president and try and retain that status quo and not allow Siddaramaiah for a major cabinet reshuffle?
Veera, to answer your second question first, so it's very clear now. You see, we had just while back that DK Shivakumar comes and says that he will be going to Delhi. I mean, he may be have to go to Delhi because he has certain works that needs to get it, the clearance basically from the senior leaders there. So it's very clear that he will have to go to Delhi. Now, how that the discussion takes place there and what happens, that remains to be seen. Now, to answer your first question is about that, DK Shivakumar this time is trying to show that he's also somewhere looking like to be what that the Siddaramaiah is seen as in the masked leader. Now, why I'm saying you this is that, the moment I questioned him about the Vokkaliga leader seems to be upset with him not being given a chance. You see, he's trying to send a wider message over here. He says that the community might be liking him because he belongs to that community, but he is the leader for the, he is also a loved one or probably belongs to the whole of the Congress party, one. Point number two, he also says that he is also a leader for all the sections. So he's also somewhere trying to be on lines with what Siddaramaiah is to show that as in he's also a mass leader. He cannot be made to sit back there.
Okay, you're saying he cannot be made to sit back there. Yasir, first tell me, how are you enjoying your Congress bun? You see, you spoke about the spicy peanuts and the two halves. I'll also tell you there is butter inside it.
Exactly.
It's very nice and
The
tasty.
butter is always with the Congress. Let me show you 3 photographs.
Butter is always with the Congress.
With
You say
Congress.
why?
See, I have shown you
Show the camera the
these
photographs.
3 photographs I have clicked on May 2023. That time we were discussing same thing. 2 sides you have CM Siddaramaiah, DK Shivakumar, and the middle chair. That time you can see. Then Mallikarjun Kharge comes in between, and finally Kharge ji is with them. Both are raising heads up. That is going again to happen. I think so.
What do you mean by that?
Because what we see, what has happened last time in 2023, nobody knows, as Deepak also said, was there any promise given by Rahul Gandhi or Sonia Gandhi? There is nobody who can say that Rahul Gandhi has said that after 2.5 years, DK Shivakumar will be made Chief Minister. It is only the camp of DK Shivakumar who says that. And the second question is, what will they get if they make DK Shivakumar Chief Minister right now in Karnataka? What will Congress get? Because we know DK Shivakumar is a good administrator, but Siddaramaiah is a mass leader. Both DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah has brought Congress back to power. It is not one single leader.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but because we were waiting for one more guest to join us, which is Mr. Ramakrishna Upadhyay. He's finally decided to walk in. He's beaten Bengaluru traffic, and I see him walking in right now to join us here. Ramakrishna Upadhyay, thanks very much for joining us. That's all right. Please take your seat. Please take. You see, one lesson in Karnataka, Ramakrishna Upadhyay, you need to take your seat when you have it. If you wait for too long, you may not have it. And this is Congress bun. Do you have a Congress bun story? Do you know why this is called Congress bun?
I had a full lunch. I'm coming from a housewarming ceremony.
Okay.
So I don't think I will.
No, but
He's had some yele uta and he's come. So
Yes, yele uta.
No, but tell me, do you know why it's called Congress bun? We were discussing the Congress bun before you came here.
Yeah.
Yasir was saying there is spicy peanuts. Deepak and Yasir were saying spicy peanuts.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
always spicy time within the Congress, and
Yeah.
hence this is the Congress bun.
Exactly.
Is
That's
that
what
why
it
it's-
is. That's what it is.
Acha, okay, you
they
can
put the
have it.
Congress. This thing.
That particular peanut is called Congress. So if you go to any snack store and say, I want Congress, they'll give you this peanut.
So if you
not
ask
just
for
one.
Congress in Karnataka, you'll get
a
peanuts.
spicy peanut.
But spiced peanuts. It is not a plain.
No, this is a fantastic lesson because I remember many years ago, as soon as when I used to come to Bangalore, and this is before the 2013 election results, I remember standing outside and somebody saying, Congress, 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 do you want Congress? I said, no, Congress is already won. Then they said, no, Congress is not that. This is the Congress.
This is the Congress.
It's not that. No, but go ahead. We were talking, Ramakrishna Upadhyay, about both who was involved in that decision back in 2023. Yasir was sharing for us photos that he had of 2023. Do you
2023.
believe-
You mean in Delhi?
in
or-
Delhi, after the election results.
After the election results came,
So
yeah.
do you know how... it was a tacit agreement possibly that happened at that point.
Yes,
in time.
yes.
Is there any way that can be changed? Is there anything that's changed from, let's say, last evening to now in your assessment in terms of what's going to happen next?
You see, do you want me to talk about that particular, period when? I still very clearly remember that on the May 13th, the election results came in. The 14th, both Siddaramaiah and Shivakumar were in Delhi. From 14th to 18th, it took them 5 days. 5 days of hard negotiations, and they wouldn't come to any kind of understanding. They used to run from our president's office, and umpteen times. So we used to follow them. I was in Delhi at that time, and then Mrs. Sonia Gandhi had gone to Himachal Pradesh on a holiday. Finally, she called up, I think, on the 18th evening, and talked to. See, this is what we were told, of course, because it all happened inside. So we were told that she spoke to Shivakumar and personally and requested him, please join and then become a DCM. Then we'll take care of you. First half it will be Mr. Siddaramaiah, since he's a senior leader here, and then so this is what he was conveyed. And then she spoke to Mr. Mallikarjuna Kharge also. This is what I told him. He has agreed. So we don't know whether she spoke to Siddaramaiah also. See, Siddaramaiah has to believe what Mallikarjuna Kharge is saying, and then what DKC is saying.
Okay. So you're saying,
but obviously it was 3-4 people, and then
5-6 people,
5-6
according to the man who knows it, which is DK Shivakumar. Now, but I'll ask you another question. Do you believe that there is undue attention? Is this been blown beyond the proportion, or do you believe that there is genuinely a possibility and a problem for the Congress if they don't settle this issue right now? Dakshin.
See, there is a problem, obviously, because there is a power struggle between two top leaders. That's definitely there. But it has been blown up and exaggerated. And also you have the media, coming up and asking both the leaders, whether this is true or whether that is true, trying to turn speculation into reality. So trying to basically spice up this entire issue between them. Hypothetically speaking, if there was no media, probably they would have resolved it between themselves. That is one way of looking at it. The other one is they are also using the media. So even both Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah are using the media against each other because they are not able to directly talk to each other about this. So it's a kind of a combination. You have a combination.
Basically, the media may be fueling the fire, but they are also helping enough to fuel the fire.
Exactly.
That's what you're trying to say. What do you say, Ab?
They are adding, there is no doubt about it. There is a problem within the Congress. Both the leaders, we have seen on the social media how they are fighting for the word power and world power. So that means there is a difference. But media is also adding fuel to it, because we have seen how even the cabinet formation has also been shown in some media channels. Who will be the home minister, who will be the speaker, even they have made. So it is being blown out of proportion, there is no doubt. But yes, of course, Congress leaders, they come and they speak, then media adds the fuel, there is no doubt.
That's right. But Deepak and Ritu have been getting you the first reactions, the first politicians all along over the last 5-6 days. Are you tired already?
Well, Veera, in Karnataka, if you're tired, you can't cover politics. because here, nothing is certain, and whenever there's a chief minister...
you can hold the mic for a bit.
Whenever there is a government that is formed, it's always with some amount of drama, and you've seen it for more number of years than I have. Be it from the time of Yadurappa and H.D. Kumaraswamy, that was not even... there were some two different parties, and that time, they didn't even honor the agreement of 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
It was a coalition government, and here, within a single party, if you're going to expect that, it's of course a big deal.
I know, it's a big deal. Ritu Rajpurohit, I see you're the healthy one here. You're having your lemon tea. You're only taking small bites of that Congress. Is this because you want to keep yourself fit for many, many more days? Do you expect this drama to continue for a long time?
I mean, Veera, you will also agree to it that in Karnataka, there's no day where you will sit flashing without, you don't flash for 5 minutes, then you'll be like, okay, there's nothing happening in Karnataka. There's no such picture at all in your day. So used to it to cover these kind of dramas, so there's nothing there for you to sit back and be like, okay, let me relax. Because you'll never ever, have that day here in Karnataka.
That's right.
If I will say about the name of Karnataka in Hindi, you will say this Karnataka. So drama always is there in the name only. So we have seen
I don't think there's any pun left to have.
There is always a Nataka. That's what I'm saying. There is always, so they have to be ready always. They should be.
I brought out a book called Natak Karnataka.
Karnataka.
2013, it's a collection of my articles about political developments over a period of about 10 years. So I titled it Natak Karnataka. So I hold the,
you hold the patent for Natak Karnataka.
Patent for Natak Karnataka.
But seriously, Dakshin, the sense that one gets, and I'm going down to serious politics, and this is after talking to a lot of leaders off the record. right? It's very clear where each camp stands. There is a sense that there is a winter session of the Karnataka Assembly which begins on December 8th.
Yes.
This will be in Belgavi. Initially, I was told 2 days ago that they wanted to settle this issue before Parliament session begins, because once Parliament session begins, it will become very chaotic in Delhi. And there has to be an involvement of Delhi to settle this issue. Do you believe that now, and I believe there is a lot of clarity that DK Shivakumar has indicated that he will go to Delhi if he's called, and they will all have to go, and there is enough clarity that's coming out that Delhi will call them either tomorrow or day after. Do you believe when they go there, both sides are going to remain completely adamant, or there has to be a compromise? Because the argument from several Congress leaders is that Siddaramaiah seems to categorically have the larger number of MLAs in his support, and he's not going to budge very easily. Is that the sense you get?
I think more than of course, it's a fact that more number of MLAs support Siddaramaiah, but the resolution is not going to be based on that. The resolution is going to be based more on the future of the Congress party in Karnataka, because if they make even the smallest of mistakes now in the way they deal with it, in terms of how they assuage both the leaders. So fundamentally, they need to promise something for Siddaramaiah. At the same time, they need to also assuage or give in to what DK Shivakumar is saying, because both are not going to let go so easily. But at the same time, they also need to be given some lessons, probably, which the High Command will tell them that. And I think within the same 4 or 5 people, it will be resolved.
Okay. In terms of confirmation, go ahead, Ram.
See, it's no longer the question of numbers. Numbers, there is no question that Siddaramaiah controls the numbers, possibly about 90, 95.
Then what else is it a question of?
No, it's a question of promise that has been made to Shivakumar. That is what he has been insisting on. I have been given a promise that after 2.5 years, Siddaramaiah will step down. And
By who is the question?
Well, Sonia Gandhi. That's what he's saying.
That he claims, but not.
No. See, even I think in some context, Mallikarjun Kharge has indicated. He has not openly said.
No, but no one has categorically put the.
I think Mallikarjun Kharge has made it clear in some conversations at least that after 2.5 years that it will be given to Shivakumar.
No, but
so that has been.
What now? While we are all speculating whether this conversation even happened, but while they have not acknowledged it, they have also not denied it.
So
that's a giveaway. That's a giveaway.
Yeah, so this is an understanding that probably a conversation happened, because if you put that conversation out there, it's going to give the opposition more ammunition to attack them. That's probably why they didn't discuss it. But not making it public now has given many others the opportunity to say it never happened at all, or for some to say it has happened. Now make it reality. But somebody was mentioning, what does the Congress really get if you make DK Shivakumar the chief minister? Right now, all of us who've been covering politics, many of you all seniors yourselves, would agree that some of the mass leaders that Karnataka has seen in the recent past, Yediyurappa, he's retired from active politics almost. Then you have Mr. Siddaramaiah, who's in the last stages of his active political career, because he himself has said he's not going to contest again. You never know, he could. But then you need a transition in Karnataka. You need a mass leader. If you do not give younger ones the opportunity to really, come out, because Kumaraswamy was looked at as that opportunity. But what do you do if you don't give an emerging leader an opportunity?
No, but I'll ask you this counter question, and I'll put this in front of the panel. 2023 was a different reality. 2024 election result was a different reality for the BJP. With HD Kumaraswamy's resurgence after 2024 as a potential force there, do you believe that there is another dynamic to this power play, that the JDS and HDK may not want another strong Vokkaliga leader to emerge in the Congress? Do you believe that dynamic is being missed out here?
I mean, frankly, HDK and the JDS are not very relevant today. It's just sheer chance, and by circumstances, you find HDK in Delhi as a minister. The JDS itself has its own set of issues. So this is completely irrelevant to what is happening.
I disagree with him. See, now BJP and JDS coming together. Obviously, they are going to contest the election together. Next election, it will be together. So they are going to be together. And I wouldn't be surprised if, Kumaraswamy becomes the leader of that.
From the fact that Kumaraswamy is a leader who's still very popular, especially South Karnataka and even in northern Karnataka.
Let me explain this to someone who doesn't follow Karnataka politics very closely. Why is what you're saying very important? The BJP is seen categorically as the party of the Lingayat sect, which is the largest voting bloc in a sense in Karnataka. The second largest voting bloc, we still don't have the caste survey data, but the second largest voting bloc.
Rahul
Hang on, let me explain this and then you make your point. The second largest voting bloc, in a sense, at least in terms of old data, is the Vokkaliga, OBC Vokkaliga caste. When the Lingayats and the Vokkaligas come together, everybody else get alienated was the old arithmetic, which is why the Ahinda conglomerate was formed by Devrajars back in the 70s, right? Which became extremely powerful for the as far as Karnataka politics is concerned. Now go ahead and
yes, you are saying about the caste politics. If you see for last 2.5 years, what was the Rahul Gandhi's take? He always wanted the caste survey, though they say the socio-economic survey. That was his priority, and his favorite project is from Karnataka. That so if they have to implement that survey, which they have, who will do that? I don't think any Vokkaliga and Lingayat leader will do that. He will be from the OBC or a Dalit. So Siddaramaiah is the best person to implement that thing. So will Congress take that chance and say, okay, DK Shivakumar will be the...
referring to? Because, the survey that was last made, the Congress said it's old and it's outdated.
Now they have done the new one.
There's a problem. I disagree with you there slightly, though I believe that this caste calculation, you're right, it works in favor of Siddaramaiah to have a caste survey to consolidate his conglomeration of castes under the Ahinda umbrella, but it may not work for the both Vokkaliga and Lingayat leaders who might oppose it in some sense.
So both leaders will not take it. If you are making a Lingayat CM or a Vokkaliga CM, they will not implement that caste survey.
The caste equation is there.
Sorry, I'm getting more hungry. I'm going in for my second Congress one.
Yes, please. No, the caste equation is there. Caste factors are there. But right now, as we speak, I don't think it's that important as we speak. I mean, I think the situation is different, the issues are different, and the crisis is not related to caste at all.
Ritu Rajpurohit.
I mean, when we talk about the caste survey as such, Veera, it becomes important as well.
Thank you, Murugan. This is our shotgun Murugan. He's doubling up. He's the man who drives us around. He's doubling up as the coffee person. Thank you very much for giving us coffee in this nice little traditional tumbler. Okay.
Yes, Veera. So as you were pointing out about the caste census, you see who's that the Rahul Gandhi is ready to buy with these kind of ideas. It's always from the Siddaramaiah side. So that also makes it clear, because here we're talking about, these are the issues probably we see and major developments that happens, and we have our thoughts about it. Now at this current scenario, we see it's a game of two man, where that whose ideas are more bite there by the high command. It's usually from the Siddaramaiah side. When we talk about caste census survey, as said, this is what it reminds me of. On the other side, you see, I was just talking to some of the senior leaders from the Congress itself, who also hint us saying that apparently a lot of meetings that have taken place in the Delhi to try and project about the Dalit leader assets, they have always had the word of Siddaramaiah to be in the front runner, you see. So it becomes difficult for the Congress party to drop him at this point in time abruptly. Point number one. Point number two, it's also that the Siddaramaiah still looks forward, the party looks forward to Siddaramaiah to campaign in the 2028 election as well. So it becomes important. So it is very important for the Congress party to not play around with Siddaramaiah until and unless he willingly gives up the position.
Okay,
but I want to really weigh in on the caste issue here. You just mentioned, Mr. Dakshin, that it's not of any relevance. I would completely or mostly disagree. Why I say this is because for the High Command right now to take any decision, they'll have to keep in mind who are they going to antagonize, who can they risk antagonizing. Here you have a situation where for the last several years, almost the whole of the Lingayat community has been backing the BJP. Now if you have a situation where you antagonize the Vokkaliga community, can they really take that potential risk? Because, in terms of numbers, there are a huge majority if you combine the Vokkaligas and the Lingayats. Then there's also another risk before them. Can you antagonize the entire Ahinda category if you remove Siddaramaiah? So this is the biggest dilemma.
So that brings me to the final question. Do you believe that Mallikarjun Kharge is the man in waiting right now?
You're right, but
I've been batting for Mallikarjun Kharge, and after him I'll speak.
No, you are actually putting the cart before the horse, because right now, when the issues between DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah, it is really not the caste that is the issue. The caste comes as a kind of a tail behind them, and the kind of support that they have. But you can't think of the caste and then decide.
But in 1980s they have made the mistake.
You cannot ignore that.
In 1980s, they have done the same mistake. Rajiv Gandhi did the same mistake in 1980s when they
that was different. No.
But it's a caste equation comes. Caste equation comes.
No.
From that, the Lingayats are not with them. So caste equation matters.
There it was an abrupt rude and a very horrible way
Here
of
also it will be rude only. Here also it will be rude.
But here they're trying to talk to each other. Here they're trying to talk to each other. He has not been sacked, or neither is DK Shivakumar been sacked. They're saying, let's have a discussion and resolve this. So there is a huge difference.
23 assembly election was the first time in more than 10 years that the Lingayats deserted BJP. They were with Yediyurappa all the while, but in 23, the majority of them deserted them into the Congress. That's the reason why Congress got 136 seats.
No, but I remember...
Okay, but they came back in the parliament election.
No, Ramakrishna Upadhyay, you may not remember this, but back in 2006-07, when I had come to the Prajavani office and I met you there, you explained to me the importance of Ramakrishna Hegde and how the Lingayats consolidated with Ramakrishna Hegde back in 83.
Yes,
and
yes.
that
He
resulted
was
in
seen
that
as
big
the
result.
Lingayat leader.
So you see, the caste formulations of Karnataka, would I be right in saying, have been pretty much consistent over the last 3 or 4 decades. It's very clear where who's going to go, which is why, and because of the regional divides as well between north, which is why it is always a sense of political instability here, because there is no one leader who cuts across all the regions, except some would argue Siddaramaiah at this point.
As far as caste issues are concerned, caste is of course very important. It exists and it's hugely practiced. But I think sometimes it is also overplayed. Not everything revolves around caste. When you ask individuals whether they vote based on which caste it is, it's like you're almost saying that they are mindless. They don't have a political idea. If you have a leader of a particular caste who doesn't perform well, is corrupt, etc., etc., the people are not going to vote that person just because he happens to be of that caste. So the point here is, we have seen that. For instance, when you say that the Lingayats shifted to the Congress, it's not that there was a magic wand and they shifted to the Congress. They were upset. There was anti-incumbency against the Lingayat leaders of the BJP. So the BJP committed mistakes. So there was a anti-incumbency and they shifted to the Congress. So it was a political thought. It's not because of a caste that they shifted from one to the other.
It's a political identity thought, you say.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Ramakrishna Upadhyay.
You see, that's why Karnataka elections are very complicated and it's not easy for any political party. So the Congress has been, balancing this for a while, and then Siddaramaiah has brought in a new element of the Ahindas, which was not it's not alien to Congress, but then the Congress has found in Siddaramaiah somebody who can bring in even smaller castes.
I want to ask you one quick question to both of you veterans before I go to Ritu, Yasir and Deepak. Why is it that the two longest serving chief ministers of Karnataka, Devraj Ars and Siddaramaiah, Devraj Ars, whose record Siddaramaiah wants to break in February and present the budget, why is it that these two leaders are from the Ahinda conglomerate, A, and does that mean that it is an Ahinda leader who can actually offer a stable full term in Karnataka given the history you've seen after SM Krishna?
Devraj Aras is not Ahinda. He is from a very minor community of Aras. It's a very small community. Not even probably a few lakhs. Yeah. So he is not Ahinda. But he brought all the backward classes together.
He's seen as the face of the Ahinda conglomeration, right?
No. See, he was the one who gave them the political power. You see, at a time when all the minor communities, all the smaller communities were not getting any political representation, he set up this Havanur Commission. The Havanur Commission, which came up in 1970 through 73, they came up with the first the caste census, and very meticulously done. Each and every community, they give the exact number as to how many, approximately in terms of lakhs and others. So this became the basis for reservation. So reservation in educational institutions as well as jobs. This is what Devraj has brought, and that's the reason why he became very popular.
Yeah, Upadhyay is right, but there is also one more thing. Devraj is today known for his land reforms. See, he took some major decisions.
So it was not just
It is not just because he was a Ahinda leader. The same thing holds for Siddaramaiah. Siddaramaiah is known for his financial acumen. He performed and he's got a very good reputation as a finance minister when he was with the Janata Dal.
Okay. You know what the problem I figure with journalists, and when we are discussing politics, you forget the Congress bun. Journalists don't bother about eating. Both Deepak Bopanna, Ritu, Dakshin, they are so intensely political. Let's have a little Congress bun, and I'll ask you a light question as we try to close this conversation. Let me start with Yasir, and I'll come back to you for another serious thought as well. But Yasir, what's the next bit of breaking news you expect over the next 24 hours? Are these people going to have a pleasant weekend or a news-filled weekend?
News-filled weekend, but end result will be my collage, which I have made in 2023. It will be this.
This is a collage that he has made in 2000. He's plugging his own collage. Everybody has made this collage.
It will happen like this only. If you can see the 3 photographs, it will happen this.
What does that mean? Explain to us again.
First picture was, can you hold this, Ritu? This was the first picture after they won the elections. Both had come to the KPCC office, and this chair was empty. So both of them were looking, and everyone was saying
photographs of the last.
Then Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge came in between. He was hearing to both, and finally he came out with both the things. When the supposed promise was made, again same thing, same kind of promise will be made, and Congress will be same thing.
Ritu Rajpurohit, are you bracing for a very, very news-filled weekend, or do you really believe you'll get your day off?
I don't think so. I'll get a day off, Veera, but hopefully I get so. If you allow me to, that too. But however, you see what we. I don't want to.
Smile shows that, in front of camera and during the show with Congress Peanuts, you're nicely talking. When you're off the show, you'll say, why did we miss this bite? Why did we miss that bite? I don't ask Deepak Bopanna because he doesn't miss any of the bites. Go ahead.
So, when
you don't too. You also get it all first.
However, I don't want to go with what my opinion is basically as a journalist, but obviously we do understand through our sources that the card of the leadership change is not before them, so they are really not keen on it right now. Needs to be seen how will that they will try and resolve this issue amicably to ensure that it does not damage the party here in the state, because there's a long way for them to go as well, almost like 2.5 years left, just 1.5 year down the lines we will have again full of actions on the ground, one here, ahead of that assembly elections probably. So yes, on all those grounds they'll have to resolve this issue amicably. How would they do it? That remains to be seen.
Okay, my final thought, Deepak, there is a sense that there's a lot of media attention, and the BJP has also been making statements like no confidence motion, etc., because they are trying to fish in troubled waters. As far as the Congress is concerned, internally they are supremely confident they will be able to handle the situation, especially given the numbers that they have, and there is no threat to the government or to the stability of the Congress in Karnataka.
Well, Veera, the no confidence motion probably has little value with the kind of numbers that the Congress has this time around. 138 MLAs is no joke. Now, the thing is, for the people of the state, I, being a citizen of the state, a proud Kannadiga myself, I want the state to be governed in an optimum fashion, right? And to have a situation like this is not good for the people, and people have been watching this. Congress can say what they want, that the media is portraying it this way, that the BJP is portraying it in another way, but the fact of the matter lies in the truth.
The last 2 decades, Deepak, it's always been Karnataka a state of political instability.
Absolutely, and even now it's the same, and they should probably resolve it and just think about pure governance. And before we end the show, while a lot of conversation has been happening around the peanuts, I was just doing a little bit of reading myself, and now I've learned that in 1969, during the time of Indira Gandhi, that's when this name apparently got coined, because the peanut was split into 2 halves, and at that point in time the Congress was divided into 2 different parts. So that's when the name got coined, and there's another theory that during the Congress meetings this was a popular snack that was being served.
Deepak, you've given us the breaking news for the day today.
So while we're ending the show, let's at least get our viewers updated on
this. Is fantastic. Explain this now, Dakshin. This is fantastic conversation, you see, because I think Congress Peanuts is more followed than Congress itself at the moment, because I think Congress
because that time peanuts were broken into 2 pieces, so Congress, that's why I started with, you have broken the bun in 2 pieces, now again it's the Congress.
So this was back in 1969. Deepak Bopanna has googled and found the answer. Good journalist, I say. While we are all talking politics, he has gone and googled and found some snippet of information which will actually go viral. Because the Congress was split into 2, and the peanut was a snack that was served majorly with.
And the peanut itself was split into 2, just like the Congress during that time.
Wow, this peanut is split into 2.
Yeah, the peanut is not whole.
Okay.
So will the Congress become whole in the days to come?
What a question to leave the viewers on. But I'll give the last word to Ramkrishna Upadhyay.
Since we have been talking about Siddaramaiah and Devarajaras, and Siddaramaiah wants to overtake his, the term, the longest term and all that. You see, I think in terms of their contribution in terms of, let's say, the personality as a chief minister, I think Devaraja Arasu is far, far, beyond what Siddaramaiah is today. Because the kind of things that Devaraja Arasu did, they were revolutionary. You see, to have that kind of, guts to implement those, at that time, land reforms was not easy. Only I think West Bengal and Kerala had done it in a very small way, and Karnataka was the third state, and it was done very successfully without any kind of violence. It was all because I come from South Canara, where a lot of Brahmins lost their lands because the tiller got the land. It was the land to the tiller. That is called the land to the tiller. So that is one thing. The second thing was about the reservations. So these two, and then all the developmental works began during his time. The irrigation dams, all this. Whereas Siddaramaiah did a good job as a first term chief minister, 13 to 18, but second term I think is a disaster.
You know what? Good old print journalists like yourself and Dakshins are encyclopedias when it comes to political history. Television journalists pale in comparison to that kind of knowledge and depth that you all have for so many years.
Wait, I must tell you one little thing.
I'm giving you a compliment now.
Okay, one more. See, I've done a 51-part episode on Karnataka politics very recently. It is in Kannada. I started with the first non-Congress government in Karnataka. I ended with the first coalition government in Karnataka.
Dakshin, I'll give you the last word because he's taken us back in memory lane all these years. What's the sense of today as far as you're concerned? I'll give you the last word.
What has happened is Karnataka has changed irrevocably in the last 4 decades. There was a time when, Ritu, I should tell you, politics used to be so dull, so stable. There used to be no news as far as politics is concerned. That's because you didn't have Ritu Rajpurohit. So things have changed. Things have changed. So what I think, seriously speaking, is that the Karnataka, the society has fractured. There's a fractured polity today in Karnataka, which is throwing up this kind of instability, and it's probably going to go on for a while now. We can't say for how long, but it's definitely going to continue.
All right, important point that you're making there. I'll leave this conversation right here. I'm the only one who's done justice to the Congress bun. The rest of them have been talking politics. They've not eaten. Ramakrishna Upadhyay had a full meal, so I can forgive him. But Deepak Bopanna and Ritu Rajpurohit, who are going to go back to breaking stories, they have not had enough Congress bun. You need to have enough Congress bun and coffee as you discuss politics. It's the best way to spend a Friday evening. That's my final takeaway from all this. We'll keep you updated with all the latest that's going to happen. Expect the meetings to happen in Delhi from Bengaluru over the next couple of days. Expect the optics as well to play out of Delhi. But we'll keep a close watch of all the news that's breaking both in Bengaluru and in New Delhi. Thanks for watching, and I hope you get to enjoy the Congress bun someday.